Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to Roma Theory, Union Saint-Gilloise against Roma tomorrow for our fourth Europa League game. Very interested to see what happens as always, but I am going to start off saying this game stinks. I don't know what it is about these games, but every time we play away from home against these minor teams in these tiny European stadiums, I get scared because I know my team too well, and my team tends to underestimate these games. My team tends to underestimate these games, and then ultimately it leads to complete humiliations. This game stinks like the Elfsborg game stank because I don't want to get fooled again, which is why, as you can read from today's title, don't you dare, don't you even dare think about not getting 3 points tomorrow. It's just too important. Look, I have understood that the owners don't care about Europa League this season. I've understood this. And it doesn't take a genius to understand this. It doesn't take a genius. It doesn't take a professional person out there with a very developed brain to tell you that the owners want this team to be playing in next season's Champions League. I don't think they understood that the way we've started in the league suggests to me that it's a mission impossible getting in the Champions League via the league, but they want to be playing in the Champions League. They have had enough of trying to get at the end of European stages and European tournaments, but then at the same time not paying attention to league games and always getting sick. And you can tell this is what they want. But I will be loud, and I say this and I repeat this in every single Europa League match preview. I don't care about what the owners want. It's about what the fans want, and it's about what the team wants. And I can guarantee you that the majority of the players who are currently playing in the Roma squad would much rather lift that Europa League trophy than fight to get top 4 in the league. Because a lot of these players, similarly to a lot of these fans, want to take revenge on that Europa League trophy. And we need to concentrate in this tournament, something which we haven't done so far. Because we drew against Bilbao, we lost against Elfsborg, and we won in a very, very, very minimum way at home against Dynamo Kiev. It's time to not only shift attention in the league, but it's time to shift attention in Europe as well. Because we need to be getting in the first 8. We need to qualify to the next round without having to play the playoffs. And we need to get as furthest as we can in this competition, because it really means a lot to all of us. So yes, this is your match preview. We'll speak about them a bit. I've done my research on them. They aren't a particularly fascinating team to analyze. No disrespect to any Belgian fans watching this. They've got their limits. They aren't a strong team. It would be a lie, and I would be lying to you if I would describe Union Saint-Gilloise as a big threat, as a big fear for us. We are better than this. We are better than constantly deriving this weak mentality of, oh, I'm playing against Union Saint-Gilloise, I'm scared. No, you are better than them. Yes, you're living a tough moment, and it can influence on the way you play, because at the end of the day, it will influence on the way you play. This bad period that we're living will influence in the games, but you were better than them on paper. You were better than them in terms of the investments and the quality, and the amount of wealth of the team. And most importantly, every single player is better than every single of their players. So you have to win this game. There is no discussion. We need to remove this weak mentality from us. This weak mentality, which unfortunately will not lead us to success, because having this mentality and being scared of teams like Elfsborg and not winning against teams like Elfsborg is a weak mentality. It's very interesting to see not how we prepare this game, but in my opinion, it's very, very interesting to see how we tackle this game. Again, we're coming from a defeat, something which isn't surprising anymore because we've lost so many games up to now. We're coming from a bad defeat. We're coming from a defeat against a weak team, Verona. And in the way we lost that game, with a last-minute counter-attack where we were literally defending with our defense line, literally in our attack, in our own half, it's not good enough. So how do we react from that? How do we react from a performance that cannot be up to the standards that we want it to be? So the most interesting thing is not how we prepare this game, is how we tackle this game and how we step up into this game. But as always, let's speak about them first. As always, if you haven't already, please do hit the like. I would love if everybody can hit the like in this video, whether you're watching live or not. Always the same like target. If we can get 100 likes on a daily basis on every single live stream, it would be absolutely phenomenal. So please hit the like. And right, Union Saint-Gilloise, they're a Belgian team. They're from Brussels. They are 10th in the Jupiler Pro League. Again, that shows you the quality of the team. The Belgian league can't be that competitive, and they are 10th. They are sitting 10th in it. You know, we, as much as, yes, okay, the power of jinxing, I'm scared of the power of jinxing as well. Yes, you can't underestimate them, but at the end of the day, like, I cannot tolerate not winning against these teams. I can't, especially for a team that basically almost a bit more than 1 year ago played the Europa League final. You know, I can't tolerate this difference and this downfall, this delusional downfall. 1 year ago, a bit more than 1 year ago, we were playing a Europa League final. 1 year after, we're living a terrible moment. We went from Mourinho to Juric. We lost against Elfsborg. We scraped it against Dynamo Kiev, and we're scared to play Union Saint-Gilloise. That can't be it. That can't be right. But going back to them, interesting fun fact about them, Alexis McAllister's brother, the McAllister from Liverpool, his brother plays for this team. He's the guy on the thumbnail, so that's a little fun fact for you guys. Other than that, when I was studying them, I read this very interesting stat which shows that, similarly to us, Union Saint-Gilloise are struggling a lot when scoring goals this season. And in the last three league games, I believe they only scored 3 goals. So an average of 1 goal per game. Considering our form, our offensive form, it doesn't present a very entertaining game, I ain't gonna lie. But it also means that defensively, you have to be concentrated, and you can't underestimate it, and you can't base your defensive performance on the fact that they don't score many goals. But it definitely requires you to shift more attention on that offensive section and how to score. And that's something to look forward to in tomorrow's starting lineup. So that's that. Union Saint-Gilloise is this. The biggest run that they had was in that 2023 Europa League run. When we reached the final, they reached the quarterfinals of the Europa League, which I believe for a team like them and their dimension is a very big achievement. With that being said, going back, when I want to speak about us, because speaking about us nowadays in this current period of time is very, very, not to say entertaining, but very fascinating, let's call it. Juric had his press conference with Zvilar next to him about a half an hour ago, and I am going to read one of the quotes that he said about the faith that the Fredkins have given to him. But I just want to speak about the predicted 11, because I think there are going to be a lot of changes in tomorrow's lineup. I think there are going to be changes, and Ndika did not get a call up. Ndika had a last-minute minor injury, which means that Mats Hummels should be starting tomorrow, excluding surprises, because with Ivan on the bench, you cannot trust him, and I can bet you that he would find a way to start Angelino and Zaleski in a back 3 defense to avoid starting Hummels. But no, Hummels should start tomorrow. If Ndika didn't get a call up, I truly believe that there are going to be changes in defense, in the midfield, and in attack. Paulo to rest. In fact, I don't know if Paulo rests. Yeah, no, I do think Paolo rests because on Sunday you've got another crucial game against Bologna, but Paolo also did rest against Verona, so he will definitely be fresher to start this game. But I do think Sule will start. Having said that, this is my predicted 11. Predicted 11 is this. There are going to be changes. You know, it would be a lie, again, to say that there won't be changes tomorrow. The owners want to prioritize the league, and they have deliberately told Juric when they appointed him, and similarly to De Rossi whenever they started the season and started planning the season. One of the achievements was, right, we've done great in Europe, and let's not stop that. Let's do go well in Europe. But at the very same time, we need to be playing in the Champions League, so we need to devote more attention and more energies in the league. I'm very curious to see if, having seen the current league situation, the Fredkins have changed their mind. If I were the owners, I would have 100%. I would have 100% told the team to focus on the league. More on the Europa League more than the league, because there is no way we succeed in the league this season. We've just lost too many points. We've lost the train. I'm sorry, but you just don't get Champions League football if you can't beat the teams that we lost to and that we struggled to win against. You know, in about 3 weeks' time, we will have a run of games in the league, which involves Napoli away, Atalanta at home, and in between that, we've got Spurs away. You know, you have, and I always say this, you fucked it up too much in the league. You will not get Champions League via the league. So if you really want to get Champions League, it's much more probable if you do it via the Europa League, even though it feels like a very tough achievement as well. Predicted 11 is this: Zviller in goal, Angelino, Hummels and Mancini in defence. In the midfield, Zaleski, please, for the love of God, keep him out. El Shaarawy to start. Çelik on the right. I wouldn't be surprised if Saud starts this game at all. In fact, I would love to see Saud in this game. Yes, he isn't ready, but he'll probably get a few minutes in this game. He got a few minutes against Bilbao, and he started against Elfsborg. In fact, I would not be surprised if Saud starts. Cristante in the middle and Kone in the middle. The reason why I've gone with Cristante is very simple. He hasn't been starting games for too much time. Like, it would feel surreal to not see Cristante on the bench, to not see Cristante starting a game again. I don't want him on the pitch, because you could easily start Pisilli and Kone in the middle and put Baldanzi and Sule behind Dovbyk. So there are going to be solutions to avoid starting Cristante again. But for the hierarchies of the team, and seeing the fact that, I don't know, it just feels surreal to me that Cristante would sit another game out. I certainly wouldn't believe in it. And I think Cristante is going to get back starting tomorrow. Up front, I've gone with Pisilli and Sule and Dovbyk up front. Baldanzi deserves to start, but again, this is my predicted 11, not what I would go for. Sule, coming from that goal, let's play with this positive side on him. Maybe he can score another one, and if he scores 2 consecutive goals, maybe he can get his side back going. Pisilli up front can be a threat. He can play in that position, and he can be threatful in that position. Dovbyk up front. Again, Shomurodov might start. I wouldn't be surprised if there is a massive turnover tomorrow. I just feel like it's a wrong decision to start with their B team, because we're not in a position to be starting our B team in a game which can mark the manager's future, but again, can mark our future again. This game stinks to me. Like, this game really does stink to me. It's the classic game which stinks if you're a Roma fan. If you're a Roma fan, this game feels like it stinks. It stinks like rotten cheese, because every game away from home which takes these dimensions stinks. So a game which already stinks, if you started with your B team, if not your C team, it stinks even more. So let's avoid another debacle, please. Please, let's avoid. I would rather consume energies tomorrow and avoid getting humiliated against Union Saint-Gilloise and maybe be a bit more tired on Sunday against Bologna. Because I've said it already, and I will say it again to make it even clearer. I prioritize the Europa League over the Serie A. Me, that's my personal opinion. So that's my predicted 11. Having said this, we need to win for the league. We need to win for our morale. We need to win for everything that goes around us. For the traveling fans, we need to win for pretty much everything tomorrow. Because if you don't win tomorrow, then you've got tough games. You know, after this game, the tough Europa League fixtures start. Because you've got Spurs away. You've got Eintracht Frankfurt at home. Yes, it's at home, but Eintracht Frankfurt are like third in the Bundesliga. They're scoring goals for fun, and they've got that Egyptian guy who's an absolute baller. So Eintracht Frankfurt is not an easy game. You've got Spurs away, and you've got Braga away. Going to Portugal is never easy, and you've got AZ Alkmaar away. Going in the Netherlands is never easy. So, you know, after this game, the easy fixtures in the Europa League ended, apart from Bilbao. Bilbao was an easy fixture, but Dynamo Kiev, Elfsborg and Union Saint-Gilloise, in my opinion, are all easy fixtures. After this one, if you don't win this game, you're in a position where you need to get as many points possible in the tough Europa League fixtures, because the second part is a tough part. So, I don't know, you have to win tomorrow for absolutely everything. I don't need to justify why we need to win tomorrow. Going back to the press conference, the interesting thing that I want to kind of translate to anyone who doesn't speak Italian. Juric got asked, you know, the desire of the Fredkins to confirm you has emerged. What do you think about it? And did the Fredkins physically call you to tell you that you were staying for now, but that your future is kind of tight on a pendulum of results? And Juric said, I feel the confidence. Of course, it's clear that we need to get results, and it's the results that will save me. On the rest, and then on the rest day and all of that. And then he says, we spoke with the Fredkins. I think everything is clear. There is no need to investigate too much. They want me to start changing the momentum of results. Otherwise, he'll get sacked. It's pretty much very simple. If he doesn't change the pendulum of results, then he's going to get sacked. If he loses tomorrow, then they won't sack him, because they'll keep him for the Bologna game and then they'll sack him after the Bologna game. Again, if you get absolutely harassed tomorrow like you did against Fiorentina, then of course it means that the players are playing against you. So to avoid another embarrassment against Bologna, you will have to kind of sack him. But again, I don't want to jinx this, but we can't get humiliated tomorrow. So if you draw, even if you lose is like 1-0 or 2-1, which I believe we won't, and I hope we don't, I think they'll sack him, but they'll sack him during the break. They won't sack him now. The moment to sack him was after that 5-1 defeat. They decided to stick with him, so they're going to stick with him at least until the international break, so that the new manager can have a bit more time to adapt. Who will do it? Pellegrini, Cristante, or Mancini, or Zalewski? I hate how we concede in the last minutes. One player on their team has someone that I played against growing up. Wow, nice. What's his name? Yeah. We should play for the back, providing more balance in the back line. I agree. I fully agree. This team is rejecting the idea of starting with a back three. So, yeah, but again, manager is stubborn. He won't change. See it on the bright side. If we lose, Juric will certainly get sacked. I don't know. I think if we lose, you'll get sacked during the break. But again, yeah. How many managers do we want to sack? Is the coach really the problem, says BM. Even if Ranieri comes and motivates these players, the max you're going to get is Europa League at max. Via the league, it's absolutely impossible that this team gets higher than 7th position. The best position, and when I say best, I am very disappointed with this best. The best position that we can achieve in the league this season is Conference League spot. Then again, you achieve that Conference League spot and you go, do I want, like, if the best that I can get is 7th, then do I really want to get 7th or do I want to get 8th? I already won the Conference League. I loved that moment. I loved winning it, and I will never forget it. But one time is enough. I certainly don't want to go. I don't want to play the Conference League again. It was great. It was fun. I will forever keep those memories. But it's like, okay, I've won it. So I'd rather get 8th than 7th, considering the stage. I am a very big fan of European tournaments, and I would be very, very sad if for one full season I wouldn't see my team in European competitions. But at the same time, not playing European competitions could give you a boost in the league. So the best this team can get in the league is 7th. I'm not even joking. Like, have we seen how low we've fallen? It's impossible that we get more than 7th. I was saying this last time. The competition in the Italian league has risen so much. So much. Like, you've got Inter, Napoli, Juventus, Fiorentina, Lazio, Atalanta. 6 teams who are all fighting to win the league title. Then again, not all of them will win it, and not all of them will maintain the rhythm. But 3 months into the season, you've got 6 teams battling for the league title. In no other competition around the world, you've got 6 teams challenging for the league title. Of course, Fiorentina won't win it. But right now, they've got the same points as Inter, or same points as Atalanta. So it's a competitive league. These teams above you will not lose points at the rate that you do. So getting 7th would be a miracle. We will not get more than 7th. We've lost far too many points against all of the bad sides. Who I think will win the league? I think one between Inter and Atalanta. I really do. I think Atalanta is Atalanta's the best team in the league right now. Atalanta is. I've said it many times. I've been on YouTube for about 3 years, and like you know how much I detest Gasperini, but I tend to be honest. Gasperini is the best manager in the league. Oh my! Like sometimes I dream to be an Atalanta fan. When in the moments of despair of my team, I dream to be an Atalanta fan. Like, Atalanta is the definition of a projectual direction. Pick the team up from nowhere, build the team, qualify for the Champions League, win the Europa League, and ultimately after 10 years, push for the league title. With the investments that they've done, with the player transformation, because only Gasperini can transform Ademola Lookman from a Fulham scrap to top 5 best players in the world right now. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this. Ademola Lookman is top 6 players in the world right now. Because the reason nobody puts Ademola Lookman in top 6 positions right now is because he plays for Atalanta. If Ademola Lookman was Liverpool's starting left winger, everybody in the world would consider him top 3 players in the world. But because he plays for Atalanta, nobody considers him. Ademola Lookman is a fucking baller. That guy is the best player in the league right now. Gasperini is, and what Gasperini has done to Atalanta is what this team needs to do right now. Like, I agree, Gasperini can do what he's doing only at Atalanta because the reality at Atalanta is the perfect reality to work in. But like, Gasperini is on as much as I hate him because he's an absolute, like, I really cannot stand him, but he is a top-class manager. And the projectual direction and the organization and everything that goes on in Atalanta is literally what needs to happen at every football club. Atalanta, if we face Atalanta right now, we would lose 5-0. Like, easy. Minimum we'd lose is 5-0. Gasperini has this power of making unknown players, phenomenal players, only at Atalanta. Because the second Atalanta players leave Atalanta, they are absolutely normal players. So, you know, Gasperini works his magic at that team, but I don't like them. I don't like the fan base. They're very Nordist racist fans. I'm not a fan of Atalanta. I'm not a fan of Gasperini. But the reality that goes on at Atalanta, I would pay for that reality. The reality, no media pressure, no pressure from the fans. Working at Atalanta is like a honeymoon. The environment at Atalanta is the perfect environment that a manager can work in. With that being said, we have to go well in the Europa League because in the league, I don't see any hope, unfortunately. Right, let me read a few more comments and then I'll go eat, and then Champions League, so I'll let you go. Will Juric remain if we win next 2 games? I read somewhere the Fredkins will decide after these 2 games. Well, if he wins these 2 games, then yeah, he'll stay. You can't sack him because he wins 2 games. Like, again, the moment to sack him was after that 5-1 defeat. That was the perfect time to sack him because nobody would have said anything against it and everybody was for it. You can't sack a manager because he gets 6 points after he gets 6 points. So they decided to stick with him after that defeat. So if he gets 6 points from your next 2 games, you have to stick with him at least until a next 5-1 defeat. We'll see what happens. Omar Marmoush. Hope it's not a repeat of Kiev's game. Why players go against the fans, the coach and the owner? Are these kind of players or professionals? Who do you want Roma to appoint as next manager? Who do I want? Well, who do I want? I want either Mourinho to return or Jurgen Klopp sitting on my bench. On a realistic note, who do I want is Max Allegri. Yeah, I miss winning mentality. We need winning mentality coaches. Otherwise, we'll keep on downfalling here. Right, I'm going to catch you tomorrow. Why Gasperini hate? He's a bit of a prima donna. He's always against Roma. Yeah, I've never been a fan of him. He's a great manager, but human-wise, yeah, not a fan. If Hummels doesn't play tomorrow, Juric has successfully ruined his career, says Leonard. You'll start tomorrow. Hummels will start tomorrow because Ndika's out for a minor injury and did not get a call-up. So if he doesn't start tomorrow, it means that he fell out with the manager, because if he finds a way to not start Hummels, even when Ndika's injured, then it means that they fell out and that they don't get along. Otherwise, you don't explain it. Right, hit the like, subscribe. Please do hit the like. Everybody do it, please. Before going and watching the Champions League games, hit the like. Takes 2 seconds. It would be great. Catch you tomorrow with the Unios Gilloise match reaction. Forza Roma sempre, and speak to you soon. Good night. Simo.